So I've been a game developer for the past 4 years, and I've also been a game developer, a YouTuber for the past 2. In order to make all this happen, of course, I have to use the most productive and the best tools out there. So today I want to go over with you with all the tools that I use to make all this come to reality. Now, in terms of game engines, I am currently using 3, okay? I'm using Godot, Game Maker, and also Unity. And you may be thinking, why are you using 3 engines at the same time? Well, I am not using like the 3 all the time. It really depends on, first of all, yeah, if I am making an indie game or not, if I am making a project for a specific client, or if I got a job specifically on one engine or the other. Because as you may probably already know, there isn't a lot of jobs in companies related to Godot if you go to LinkedIn or any other similar webpage. So that's why you have to use another engine if you actually want to find, let's say, a formal job in a company. That's what I'm trying to do. So that's why I also have to learn Unity and create stuff in Unity. And then why Game Maker over here? Because when I started working with a client, with a company, firstly we started off using Godot. And then he also asked me to do some stuff in Game Maker, so I had to also learn this engine just for this client. I will dedicate a whole video to this job of Godot and Game Maker, etc, so I'm not going to dig any deeper into this. And of course the engine that I use the most as my channel is all about Godot, is Godot, okay, because I always have to keep up with the latest news, with the latest updates and with the latest stuff to be able to provide the best content as possible. Then as the code editor that I use for Unity, mostly because in Godot and Game Maker I just use the built-in text editors, but well, for Unity you do have to use an external editor, and in this case I'm using Visual Studio Code. Because it is super lightweight, it opens super fast, and also I really like that it is quite simple. All the interface, all the add-ons are quite simple, so it really helps me just focus on the game and on coding. And also it has like a dozens of extensions, while add-ons is the same thing. You can customize the theme as you want. So yes, it really gives you a lot of freedom. I have also tried using a Visual Studio for Unity, but for me, maybe it did provide more tools and stuff like that, but I wasn't actually taking advantage of them. And I also use Visual Studio Code for when I am coding my own portfolio that I code in myself with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Well, it is just so that I have everything like in the same code editor and I don't have to be using one and the other at the exact same time. In terms of asset creation, more specifically about characters, images and all like that, I tend to use Sprite for pixel art, basically because it's like the industry standard and it's the easiest one to use that I found. And if I ever need to do anything else that is not pixel art, I usually use Photoshop, okay? And by the way, I also use Photoshop for the thumbnails and for everything like that. But well, that's for YouTube, okay? So if at any time I need to create a custom shape, a custom character, a custom asset that maybe needs some kinds of adjustment that is not pixel art, I usually do it just here on Photoshop. Once again, it's the industry standard, is the software in which there is the most information out there on the internet. So yes, basically those are the reasons why I use these 2 softwares. Then to keep everything safe, I personally use GitHub Desktop. This basically allows you to have a history of every single change that you make to your project. So it's very good to come back to any previous commits, as it is called over here. So if you ever make any kind of mistake in your project, you can always discard them and start over. And also you can for free cloud save them on github.com. So here, if for example your hard drive breaks, or you want to access your project in a different computer, you are super able to make all this. I've been using GitHub like for over 4 years now, because I literally have all my history as a game developer over here. And if you actually go here like to the first projects that I created, you will see that indeed I've started this actually here in 2021, but in 2021 was when I started using GitHub Desktop, because you can see May 31, and in May 31 is when I started, and in May 31 there are lots of projects that were updated. But well, I've actually been developing games since 2020. Now for organization, I believe that this is one of the most important things as a game developer, because I have to manage my own YouTube channel, my own game development, let's say, business. So I really had to have everything super organized, and for this I use Notion. Okay, so there are actually dozens of applications that are similar, such as Trello. You can even use Google Calendar, but well, I feel the most comfortable with Notion because I also have here more stuff than just game development. If you see here 2 daily planners, because this is the actual daily planner that I have private stuff, and this is just a copy without the different stuff that I got. So the good thing is that you can customize this as you really want. So I will, for example, just delete these 2 over here because it is too long to explain the story of why they are there. So for example, here I have you can here create super quickly a new page and put anything here. For example, create player movement. I also put here a deadline if I wanted to. And for example, let's put that this is going to be for October 31 and it will be displayed over there. So you can move things around, and whenever I complete a task, I can just drag and drop it in the notes section group. So for example, here I have different sections. Once again, you have to adapt this to your own purposes. I have one for a social event, let's say a birthday, a meeting that I have with family, friends, etc. Then these are things that like are related to work, to uploading a YouTube video or whatever. So basically it has the battery here just to represent, okay, that is something that I really care about and that actually helps me like survive. That's basically posting videos, work, etc. Whereas this is something that also both have a date, okay, but well, this is more social life. And these are things that I do care about but do not have like a specific date. For example, I don't know, I have over there, I know, cleaning my keyboard, okay, it is something that doesn't have a deadline. It is something that I can do maybe in 1-2 weeks time or whatever. And now the most important thing are these 4 blocks. You should divide your day like in 4 or at least 3 big chunks. I love waking up super early in the morning, so I have a chunk for the super morning, okay, as soon as I wake up. Then from the morning to lunchtime, let's say, from lunchtime to snack time, and from lunchtime to dinner, okay, something like that. So for example, I will say here that I want to get completed these 2 tasks before I have breakfast, for example, or before it is too late in the morning. Then from the breakfast time to lunchtime, I want to have these other tasks done, and this is how everything continues. So whenever I get something completed, I just drag and drop everything over there. Something also quite interesting, the fact that you can also add here different views. So the views here are basically contain the exact same data but displayed differently. So for example, here let's say that I have to hand in job, I don't know. So let's say that this is for November, for the 2nd of November. So in the calendar it will appear over here. And if I add here another task, I don't know, go out with friends, and I put this into the social section, I will also see it over here. But well, the calendar helps you a lot to get organized. And then the list view, it is just because if I am having here lots of tasks, I don't want everything to lag, or I don't want to store just there empty things that I have already done. I go to the list, select all of them, and delete them right away. Now, as you can see, I use this for more stuff, but well, it is impossible to go over everything. But for example, here in letta.corporation, well, I used to work with a friend of mine. Of course, we had agreements. I gave him some resources, etc. But well, here is YouTube. Okay, so here I have literally every single video. Well, not every single video, but a lot of videos. So you have a pretty similar board over here with my ideas, videos that I'm titling, that I'm scripting, that I am to record. For example, exactly this one. That I'm editing, that it is ready to be uploaded, and this one that is a video that is already live. And actually, if I go here to the gallery, this may take a while to load, but well, I've got here like videos from super a long time ago, and I can actually continue going down, but well, it will take a while to load everything in. So once again, I keep everything nicely organized here with the different sections. For example, with the upload date that I plan on uploading this, if there is any kind of timer, customized description, etc. And if I want to script anything, well, I do it right over here. So as you can see, in this case, I try to keep everything organized and everything in the same place. I don't have like this in Google Calendar, my daily planner on Trello, and anything like that. I try to have everything in the same place, and that, trust me, that really helps a lot. if you don't know Trello, it is quite similar to Notion. I have used it for a couple of clients that worked with that. Basically, when I had a job, let's say implement some mechanic, I would just drag and drop it into the mechanic implemented section, for example. And also one last thing about Notion is that I also organize here in the game development section my own projects and also my notes, basically for the different courses that I have taken. So all the notes are over here. So for example, let's enter to this one that I'm currently taking. And well, I have here this section of the course, and then here I have the notes of it, and also I have the topics divided. For example, here about delegates, abstract, structs. Okay, so whenever I want to, let's say, to just take a look at one specific topic, I can add here this filter. Okay, I just want to take a look at delegates, so all of this is about delegates. Okay, and by the way, you can add code blocks over here, so that is super helpful as well, because probably you are watching tutorials, taking courses, so this is also an amazing way of getting everything organized. This is another course that I'm taking. And then I've got here, this is a personal project of mine, World Cup Collector, a game that is live on the Google Play Store, and I am planning on updating it just a little bit, okay, with this stuff and maybe something more. So here I have these sections: Icebox, Backlog, to implement, to test, and once again the no section just for mechanics that I've already implemented. So the Icebox are things that I may want to implement if I have the time and if I have the mind. It is something that is not part of the core of the game, that is something secondary. Then Backlog, it is something that I do want to implement, but well, soon, and to implement are mechanics that I am currently working on implementing. And finally, I just test those mechanics, and if everything is cool, I just drag and drop it into this section. And actually, you may think that creating all this is quite difficult, but if you look in YouTube how to use Notion, a short tutorial, you will literally learn how to create this in less than 10 minutes, because it is super easy. And then lastly, for more specifically about YouTube, I use OBS Studio to record my screen. As I told you, I also use Photoshop in order to create the thumbnails. In order to edit my videos, I usually use CapCut Desktop because it is basically free and super easy to use. And I also have everything like saved into Drive, at least the most important stuff. So for example, here I have letta.corporation. Well, this is actually my Drive. So I have here some slides that I have used. I have some stuff related to game development, that are basically these two folders over here, but also have here synced with my computer with some specific folders that I selected. So for example, I play the piano, so I save here some stuff that I don't really want to lose, and stuff related to content creation, such as assets that I use, the CapCut projects, to not lose them in case that I'm editing and the computer shuts down or anything like that. Assets related to letta.corporation, some stuff of mine, and the videos that OBS records, okay? So basically I try to keep everything in the cloud. So these are the tools that I use as a game developer and YouTuber. If this video was actually fun, entertaining, or even you learn a tool that you didn't use, well, I hope that you can subscribe to the channel in order to continue learning. See you in the next one, and bye bye.